I don't know about you, but it feels to me like the ampsim market, it's like super saturated with like Fender, Marshall, Mesa Boogie, Orange, Vox, even the occasional maybe high watt, and that's it. And what do these brands have in common? Of course, they're legendary. And they're tried and proven sounds that we know that if we plug into one of those amps, it's always going to sound good. So we know that we have to have them in the ampsim world. But it's 2024 and I feel like we should have more variety, right? So today, my friend, we're going to be checking out something different, something hot, something that I love from Dr. C Amps, the MAZ18 Junior in the Amplitude 5 collection. Let's go. I'm Jorge Lancing now. We break it down, baby. Alright, my friend, thank you so much for being here again in another video. And like I was saying, I want to take a moment in the channel to just start like showcasing different brands, not your average amp. And even though if it already made it into the ampsim world, it means that maybe it's a very recognized brand. I still feel like all the amps that I'm going to be like showcasing in the next few videos are brands that are like criminally underrepresented. Maybe, yeah, there's like one developer here and there. Maybe there's a couple Tonex captures, or maybe some IRs that independently people are swapping in the internet in like forums or whatever, but they're still criminally underrepresented in the ampsim market. And on this, my friend, I know I can count on you to let me know in the comment section below what's the hot stuff around. And what are all these ampsims that are different, that are not just like your regular Fenders or Marshalls, but that are actually killing it? If you find something and you care to share it and you want me to check it out in the channel, let me know. And even if you're an ampsim developer and you're maybe daring enough to run something through this filter or lack thereof, so that we can share all these and talk about them and that kind of stuff. You know what I'm talking about. But let's stop talking, get to the rocking, and grab a guitar. Today we're going to be using my PRS SE Custom 2408 because I really trust this guitar and I have the ability to split the coil so that I don't have to go running around getting another guitar just to get a different sound. Alright, my friends, so this is the perfect moment for you to go get a set of headphones or speakers, AirPods, whatever you feel comfortable listening to music so that we can have a meaningful conversation in the comment section down below. Alright, let's go. Alright, so here we are in Amplitude 5 and this is the regular default preset, but we're not going to be working off of that one. We're going to be working off my personal default preset, which we did in this video right here, and you can go check it out after if you want to recreate it. Okay, and the first thing that I'm going to be doing is muting this compression and the gate so that we can hear the amp for what it is, unadulterated if you want. And now let's go check our amp and let's select collections to go to Dr. C. And right here we have the MAZ18. And see what I meant when I say underrepresented? They only have 2 amps. I mean, Dr. C has way more than 2 amps. And I want to say that a lot of famous people have used these amps and use them right now. Dr. C amps, they're so hot right now. Anyway, let's just hear this. Alright, so that lets you know that this is a high headroom amplifier. Super nice for clean sounds. And even though it's like super clean, it's definitely not sterile. You can get a lot of character out of this beast. And of course, that makes it a really, really good pedal platform. But I was hearing, I think, a little extra delay and reverb. Let's try to turn that off so that we can hear the amp just for what it is. Let's see. Oh, okay, I have this saturation. Let's turn that guy off because that's going to make everything different. And let's hear it now. Anyway, you get the point and the importance of having really good effects, right? Because it makes everything so much interesting. Right, now that we did that, let's turn this reverb all the way up so that we can actually hear what it does, because I want to say that it's a very nice sounding reverb. I mean, it just sounds really, really, really nice. And I want to say that something nice that you can notice is that even though we're pinning it and put it all the way to the top, we still hear the clean signal nice and clear. It's like the guitar is swimming in all this reverb, yet I still hear exactly what's going on. super usable. And that is one of the things that I think excel in this amp. But now let's bring it back to like a reasonable setting. And let's start bringing a little bit of excitement with distortion. I want to go here to my pedal section. And the first thing that I'm going to do, let me bring this compressor right now so that we can hear a little bit of the spankiness that we can get out of this amp. I mean, I'm no Corey Wong, but you know, there's a lot of spank there. And even if I take this out, let's turn that reverb down because it's killing all the spankiness. Now let's bring back our compressor. Really nice, right? And I feel like this amp just does it very effortlessly. But let's just keep it off for now. Pretty clean, pretty nice, but it has that sparkle, right? And even though we're still cutting, and I'm going to tell you exactly what this does in a little while, but even though we're cutting a lot, we still have that sparkle and that chime. I would never qualify that as a sterile kind of clean, even though it's got so much headroom. So let's push it and see what happens. Let's turn the volume all the way up and turn the master down just so that we don't blow up our ears. It's still pretty clean, but it has a little bit of edge, exactly what we would like. And this is why I was saying that this is a really great pedal platform, because if you see, we're pinning the volume. In my bridge humbucker, we're barely getting any distortion. So we can bring our little pedals and have a little bit more fun. So let's go right here to our distortion and turn this guy on. Let's just hear what it sounds like right now. Pretty nice indeed. But at this point, I feel like we're basically just listening a little bit more distortion from the pedal. What happens if we boost it on top of that? It got a lot of gain, a lot of distortion, borderline like a high gain amp, right? And even though we're pushing it really hard, it's not really farting in any kind of way. It just sounds really good, right? Wow, it's like literally almost sounding like a high gain amp. Let's see what happens if we add a little bit more boost. Let's boost it even more with this switch right here. Now let's go nuclear and turn even our overdrive right here, our tube screamer. Let's see what happens if maybe we put it after the Pinnacle drive. Nah, definitely the Pinnacle Deluxe has like the most headroom. I feel like even when we had the Mud Honey, it was sounding better than we put the tube screamer there. I mean, if you think about it, this is just like a little combo, a super clean amp, and as soon as we bring our pedals, we get a nice distortion. And I bet you if we tweak it, it can sound a lot better. But for that, we'll need to get to the next section, which is our EQ. And what I like about this EQ is that it's like super easy to understand, right? We have treble, mid, and bass. Duh. But what I mean is like sometimes I reach out for certain amps, and when I move the knob, it doesn't really do what I think in my head it's gonna do. Like the simple example that I can come up with is like in the beginning when I was trying to like tweak amplifiers and stuff like that, and I would read treble, I was thinking certain kind of frequencies, and then I realized this is not anywhere near treble. What most amps call treble, it's actually just high mids. Maybe like even like 1K to 3K or 5K. And if you actually want high frequencies, you need the presence. But in this case, since we only have those three, it feels almost like a stereo to me, because treble is treble, bass is bass, and middle is just middle. I feel like the middle is maybe like around 500 to like maybe 1.5K or something like that. And we're gonna hear it so that we're not like just talking in the air. And then the bass, everything below that, and then the treble, everything above that. Super simple, sounds stupid, but that's the best way to have everything work, because then you're not thinking about it. If you want more bass, you push the bass. If you want more treble, you push the treble, but let's stop talking and let's hear it. Let's start by taking that mid-range all the way up so that we can hear it first. I can't believe how effective that was. All of a sudden, it sounds like a bigger amp. And let's turn the treble up now. Let's start doing it all the way up. And like I was saying, that's not anywhere near high frequencies. That's like literally mid-range. You hear all the honky. Almost like it's coming out of like a soda can or something. Which maybe in like a layer it would sound good, but not right now. But let's see what happens if we turn our bass all the way up. I feel like it's still not compensating enough for this super mid-range that we're having here. I mean, that to me sounds really good when you start thinking about that this is just like a simple combo. And honestly, this is a really killer amp, because I played it in real life. I remember going with a few friends to like a store in Santa Monica, and we just brought a guitar. And we were looking for a nice killer set of amps with like pedals and stuff like that. And this was one of the ones that really stood up, because it just was so versatile. I remember doing this kind of like similar things. Of course, maybe it sounded a lot worse than it does right now, but I digress. What really matters is that I felt this freaking huge range of tonality that you can use with this little amp. And at that time, we did kind of like the same thing. We had like a clone of sorts, then we had like a tube screamer and like other kinds of like overdrives and like little pedals and stuff like that. And I remember this one comes with a little boost pedal. And the original has like two different inputs. One is like, say if you're using like, they say if you're using humbucker sounds or if you're using single coils, you plug into the different ones, maybe so you can get the sweet spot. I haven't really tried that one, so I cannot really say what it is. But I remember that it has two inputs and this one doesn't. So maybe we can nudge iKill Multimedia for that. But what I was trying to say, like long story short, this amp sounds really killer in real life. And that's why I was excited when I saw that Amplitude has it. Have you ever tried any of these Dr. Z amps in real life, or even the plug-in in Amplitude? Let me know in the comment section down below. And while you're there, remember to like, subscribe, do all those cool little things that we like to do on YouTube, and enjoy this little bossa nova, my friend. I hope you're having a great day and that it keeps getting better and better. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what happens with this cut control right here. Let me be exaggerated and just turn it all the way up. And as you could hear, that is basically just a high pass, right? Ooh, and that is like super aggressive. Let's turn the treble down and see what happens. Even lower. Maybe I took it too far. I mean, that to me sounds really great for a clean amp. Let's keep remembering that this is just a clean amp. And I wonder what would happen if we were to come here and switch this cabinet for something different. Let's see. Let's go here to types. And let's try to find a 4x12. That sounds good, like maybe this slash one. Let's see what happens if we were to bring a 57, because I think I have that off. Okay, and let's pick a 57, but let's bring it from 0. pushing it to the limit and it still sounds pretty good. That's what happens if we turn it down just a bit. Let's turn the master because I just got so used to the level now. Actually, I want to turn this thing all the way up so that we can exploit those like EL34s that this thing has. Sounds really good. Let's go back to something more sensible over here. I mean, in that mid-range is like so effective. Let's try to turn all these guys off right here. And we're back to clean. Sort of clean, right? Let's split the coils and now we're clean. Oh, we're clipping the master. Not clipping, but overdriving it. Let's turn it down. Let's go back here. To our level. Beautiful. Again, super clean, right? Okay, I still want to do like the little funky test with the cut all the way up. See what happens. I mean, I feel like it's just too high. I feel like anything over like 6K for a guitar is just too much. Let's go back to our default settings. Give it a little bit more sparkle, maybe. Wow, it just sounds so good. I cannot believe that this is just like the same amp that we were tweaking just like a few seconds ago, right? Okay, so let's try this mid-range that I was talking about. Let's listen to what happens when we have no mid-range. Now let's turn the treble up. And let's cut a little bit more. Let's push the bass all the way up. And on that note, my friend, let's go get a few conclusions. So there you have it, my friend. A little run through the MAZ18 Junior by Dr. C Amplification. I don't want to call it an underdog because I know this is not an underdog, but definitely I want to say one of the underappreciated heroes or the underrepresented heroes in the ampsim world. I feel like we need way more models of these great amps, not just Dr. C. We're going to be talking about way more brands. And like I said, I want to hear your input in the comment section. But let me know what you think about this MAZ18. I want to say like this amp is amazing. If you go back to like a different time when you were actually buying an amp to have in your house and just like actually play, this is one of the best options. I mean, of course, in real life, it's like super expensive, which is why I'm so happy that we can have it in an ampsim form. And also like being appreciative of like having ampsims that are good enough for us to like actually hear differences that we remember from amps in the real world. Maybe they're not like super precise, but they do sound really close enough to know that this didn't sound anything like a Fender to me. If anything, maybe sounded like a Marshall, which makes a lot of sense why the high gain was like so good. But even the cleans, it's just like such a nice sound for a tiny little combo. I mean, not tiny because it got a 12-inch speaker in it. But you heard all the sounds that we could get out of this one amp and a couple little IRs if you have them. Truly something that we need to start seeing more and more of in ampsims. So the more people can hear about these great developers, people that really spend their whole life trying to create really great sounding amps that now we can use. I hope to see way more in AMPS form. But that's enough about me, my friend. I want to hear you in the comment section down below. And remember, like, subscribe, do all those cool little things that we like to do on YouTube. If you can financially support me, hit that super thanks button. I thank you so much. And if you have a little bit more time to spend with me and go watch another video, go watch this one right here. I'll be waiting for you right there, my friend. Thank you for being here once again.